viewers, welcome to the Editorial Analysis by Drishti IAS. In this section, we regularly take editorials from various newspapers and news portals for a better understanding of various issues happening in India and around the globe. In this section, we first try to link the editorial with our UPSC syllabus, then we go analytical in order to understand some key points and at last some important concepts. Dear viewers, we truly hope that you like this initiative taken by Drishti IAS and your feedbacks are important for us. So kindly feel free to give your important feedbacks in the comment section. So without any further delay, let's commence our session.
Dear viewer, this video is available in Hindi as well. If you wish to watch it, please visit our Hindi YouTube channel, Drishti IAS. For your convenience, the link for this video in Hindi has been provided in the description below.
Today's editorial is taken from the Times of India, published on 9th of December 2020. The title of today's editorial is For Farmers' Future, India's Big Ticket Dreams All Hinge on Reforms. Government must stay on course. If we try to link today's editorial with our UPSC syllabus, we can link it with GS Paper 3 and primarily with the section that includes Indian agriculture and related issues. Some key points from today's editorial. In most states, yesterday's Bharat Bandh did not manifest memorably, suggesting that the Punjab protesters' demand for rolling back the agricultural reforms is not as widespread as it looks to a capital under siege. Now, we all know that the various farmer unions along with various other political parties had declared a Bharat Bandh on December 8th. However, the Bharat Bandh wasn't successful, barring a few places. Otherwise, the entire India was quite open and operating. So, such a situation actually showed that the protest that is being carried out mostly by the farmers from Punjab is a matter that is limited only to the territory of Punjab. It does not look as strong as the protest which various protesters have been doing at the border of Delhi. States which have either not seen MSP munificence in the first place or where crop patterns have tended towards greater diversification and market linkages are simply not in the boat. If we speak about that who are supporting these protests, so we can definitely say that various states and the farmers who are present there, they have observed various changes over a period of time. And now they have moved towards various other opportunities, such as the crop diversification, which has actually provided them lots and lots of opportunity along with a tremendous amount of revenue. So when we ask those farmers that what are their opinion, so they say that after their agricultural farms have been linked with markets or various facilities have been provided to them, they do not find themselves in such a situation where they can go and protest against the farm bills which have been introduced by the government in the month of September. That the protest which has been carried out by the farmers of Punjab is only limited to that particular territory, and not all the farmers of the country are against these agricultural reforms bill who were introduced by the government of India in the month of September. As for the state that once boasted the highest per capita income, Punjab's over-dependence on public procurement of wheat and paddy has gradually made it uncompetitive, and this is reflected in its decline in prosperity ranking. See, there was a time when Punjab was the state with the highest per capita income, but now the situation has changed. Now Goa, Sikkim, these states have taken the place of Punjab, and Punjab have moved down drastically in this particular list. Now what exactly is the reason? The reason is initially there was a time where wheat and paddy, that whatever it was grown by the farmers of Punjab, it was directly purchased by the government. So the dependence of the farmers completely was on the government that they will definitely buy it. Okay, so with this attitude, the competitiveness, it gradually decreased because they were knowing that yes, if whatever happens, government will definitely come and they will buy their entire agricultural produce. So this attitude made them uncompetitive, and it can be seen quite clearly in the decline of the rankings, various rankings, such as the highest per capita income states, etc., etc. Now, if we speak about the present scenario, fearful of further decline, the protesters want to stop change. See, the entire idea is these protesters, they do not want any new change in the entire system. They observe, they feel that whatever has been going on, it should continue. Okay. They're suspicious of the agri businesses which the new farm law envisage will begin sourcing directly from the farmers. The biggest threat these farmers, these protesters have in their mind is the agribusiness firms who will come and whose provision has also been introduced into these new farm laws. They will directly come and contact the farmers and they will start buying directly from the farmers. So this is one of the biggest suspicions these protesters have. The irony is that if their demands are met, it will only diminish their future further, as also of the entire country. One thing should be noted, that if government rolls back these reforms, then it will not be just the loss of these farmers but also of the entire country. Because if we look at the projection, how the entire things have been placed in these farm bills, the idea is quite clear. The government wants the benefit of the farmers. So if these laws they are rolled back, no one will suffer, only the farmers. The Modi government did not do well to push these farm bills through parliament autocratically. Yes, we can definitely say that one of the biggest issues with the passing of these farm bills was that the Modi government, it did not adopted the entire correct method. There wasn't that much discussion on these bills. Now, has there been a lot more discussion, I think such issues would not have arisen. Since then, aside from repeated assurances that rumors about the imminent demise of the MSP and the APMC mandis are false, it hasn't done a sound job of communicating the freedoms that are in the offing. See, there was a lack from the government ends as well. Government, it failed to convey what it should have conveyed to all the people, all the farmers, all the protesters. The only assurance the government has been giving constantly is that the MSP will not end, the APMC mandis are not going to vanish. However, even this idea was not conveyed clearly to all the farmers. Also, the government kept on focusing, the spokesperson of the government, they kept on focusing only upon the MSP and the APMC mandis. They actually failed to convey what benefits the farmers will have once these agricultural farm bills will come into existence, when they will start appearing, when they will start working, what benefits the farmers will get. Okay. This is reflective of a political culture that cannot embrace freedoms, markets, and reforms with hypocrisy, ambiguity, and doublespeak. See, if you have to do anything, it is quite important that one has to be very clear in its path, very clear in its mind, that you have to convey each and everything in a very systematic manner. Until unless things are not conveyed in a proper manner, the only thing that will happen is there will be lots and lots of problems. All parties are much more comfortable accusing opponents of threatening farmers' livelihood than collaborating to actually uplift farm income. See, here the political parties have come into picture and they have started doing what their exact job is. I'm not just criticizing the opposition. Now, had BJP been into opposition, they would have also done the same. The time is, the perfect situation is that all the political parties should come together, they should sit and they should discuss the entire farm bills, what are the plus points in this particular farm bills and how they're going to actually benefit the farmers. What opposition is doing right now, they are actually threatening the farmers that once these farm bills will come into existence, there will be a grave threat to your livelihoods. So when one hears of his or her livelihood being in danger, the only thing they think of is protests. And that's exactly what we can see here. The way ahead, out of 146.45 million farm families, 1.09 million are in Punjab. If the government compromises on the MSP or the farm laws under pressure from the protesters, It would signal that any reform effort in India can be sabotaged by some interest groups, opposition, and laying siege to the national capital. See, if in these farm bills, if government compromises on the MSP, then the only message that will be sent from the government will be that if government comes with any reform, the best way to roll those reforms back is start with a protest and put a siege on the national capital. This practice has to be completely closed. Many countries support their farmers with direct subsidies, and India needs to move in that direction with greater momentum. But the private commerce that has opened up new vistas from education to telecom must no longer be harshly restricted in agriculture. See, we know that the privatization has helped India in many terms. Now, the private industry, the private sector has taken various fields from education to telecommunication, etc. And we can see what exactly are the benefits of introducing private players into all these fields. So, agriculture should also not be restricted when it comes to the privatization. Okay, privatizing agriculture will be a great advantage, and we are not giving any farms to or fields to the private organization. What the bills are suggesting is that the private players will also be allowed if they are interested to buy the agricultural produce of the farmers, and I think there should not be any problem with reference to this particular step. Repressive export policy must also be liberalized. This is something that government can offer to farmers. The 1991 lesson must not be forgotten. See, there are quite situational export policies in the country. Now, those export policies are required to be made more liberal. Now, once those policies are made liberal, the advantage definitely will be to the farmers. And also, government should not forget the lesson of 1991 when the reforms of LPG they were introduced. Okay, so closed systems do not mitigate risk. That's a dangerous deception. Okay, so viewers, this was with your editorial analysis. As opposed to the terribly misguided demonetization on which government wasted precious political capital, the reform project has a moral track record of delivering growth and opportunities. See, government has already misjudged the demonetization situation, and government lost a tremendous amount of political capital at that point of time. These reforms can definitely help the government in delivering growth and providing opportunities to the many people in this country. On it hinge all the big ticket dreams from becoming a 5 trillion economy to doubling farmers' income. And see, all the factors can be very well covered here once government starts delivering growth. Whether we are speaking about becoming a $5 trillion economy or trying to double the income of the farmers, everything can be achieved if government has a promise and government delivers growth and opportunity to its people. So viewers, this was with today's editorial analysis. Now, the question that can be framed with reference to today's editorial is, give a brief analysis of the problem and challenges associated with the minimum support price regime in India. So viewers, I hope you liked today's editorial analysis. Thank you very much.